Seeing that Damon looked at her grimly from the door of her room, Talia didn't dare to provoke him. Talia didn't have the faintest clue what caused his current mood, or what that mood seemed, but she decided to play it safe, and she lowered her head. "I apologize, Alpha Damon," she spoke in a small voice. Talia jolted when the door closed loudly, and she inhaled sharply at the realization that Damon stood only half a step away from her. It took him only a second to cross the distance between them. Damon grabbed her chin with his index finger and thumb and forced her to lift her head and look at him. "What did you call me?" He leaned above her, and his angry words splashed on her face. Talia blinked rapidly, unsure what he meant. Seeing the horror in her eyes, Damon let go of her chin and put his palm on her cheek. "I told you to call me by my name. Damon. Just Damon. Say it." His tone sounded much gentler, but his gaze didn't waver. "Damon," Talia spoke quickly, hoping that this would pacify the unstable Alpha. Damon smiled. Why couldn't she have hearts in her eyes like all other women in his proximity? That would make things so much simpler. Damon took a step back, and then another, and he placed the plate with food on the coffee table. "You really should eat, Talia." Seeing that she didn't move from the bed, Damon cocked an eyebrow at her. Within a second, Talia sat on the sofa with the plate in her lap. Damon smiled victoriously and took a seat next to her. Talia observed the plate. There appeared roasted potatoes, rice with finely chopped vegetables, chicken drumstick, and a thigh, 2 thin slices of chicken breast with gravy on top, a dinner roll, and a smidge of cranberry sauce. Talia thought that this must represent some feast. Damon propped his chin on his palm and looked at Talia with a smirk. "If you came down for lunch, you would get to enjoy fresh salad and chocolate pudding for dessert, but you missed those." "This seems more than enough," Talia responded honestly. "I don't remember if I ever ate something like this in one sitting. Thank you." Damon's heart cracked. He remembered Talia's appearance when he found her in the attic, and he let out a long breath to calm his emotions. Talia started eating, and she felt extremely uncomfortable that Damon watched her every move, but she didn't dare say anything other than, "Don't you seem busy?" Damon nodded. "I do." "You can go about your business. I will finish the food." "My business involves waiting for you to clean up that plate, and then I will take you shopping." Talia swallowed hard, unsure if she heard him right. "What?" "You refused to go shopping with Maya, so I will take you." Talia paled. She rejected Maya so that she didn't attract attention, but if she went with Alpha Damon, it would seem 100 times worse. "I don't have any money." Talia spoke weakly and Damon frowned. "Did I say that you need to pay for anything?" "There seems to be no need for shopping. These look fine," Talia spoke. Damon hummed ambiguously, and his eyes moved over her body, from her head down to her toes. Talia shrunk under his gaze. "You have an appointment with a nutritionist tomorrow. It's in the human city. Will you go in for that?" Damon asked, and Talia glanced at the white t-shirt on her. It had a rainbow unicorn on it that said, "Unicorns seem awesome." "Don't answer that," Damon spoke curtly. "I didn't ask you to go shopping, I informed you." He got his phone and started fiddling with it, and Talia understood that this conversation ended. Damon went back to his bossy mode. Actually, Damon always seemed bossy. But he said that she needed to eat and go shopping, and maybe after that, he would leave her alone. A black armored with tinted glass stopped in front of a clothing boutique in Darkburn. Talia fidgeted in the front passenger seat. She thought that this would seem easy, but now that they arrived here, she felt reluctant to get out. There appeared people on the street, and some of them already looked at the car, probably recognizing it as Damon's. Damon glanced at Talia and got out of the car. Talia clutched the seatbelt and closed her eyes. Maybe he would do the shopping himself and leave her in the car? The door on her side opened, crushing her dreams of staying hidden. "Do you need help unbuckling?" Damon asked, and Talia scrambled to undo the buckle when he started leaning over her. Seeing that she couldn't stay in the car, Talia wanted to dash into the boutique, but Damon stood in her way, with his hand extended palm up to help her out of the car. Talia released a slow breath and put her hand into his. She lowered her head while following Damon into the boutique, and the only good thing involved him releasing her hand the moment her feet touched the ground. Talia could feel numerous gazes on her, and if Damon forced hand-holding, it would seem too much. An electric chime sounded when the door of a clothing boutique opened. Damon held the door for Talia, who entered gingerly. "Do you want to pick clothes for yourself, or should I?" Damon asked Talia. Talia looked around the store. Other than two saleswomen who beamed at them, there appeared several customers who stopped whatever they did. Damon coming to this place seemed a big deal, and Talia tried to ignore people who scrutinized her. So many things! Walls lined with shelves that had garments folded, dresses and suits hung on racks. There appeared several mannequins with the latest fashion trends, and this represented her first time in a store. Damon saw Talia shrinking, and he got his answer. Unfortunately, he had no idea about women's clothing. Yes, he knew about the famous designer labels because some of his dates couldn't stop talking about it, even though he didn't feel interested in those. He looked at two eager salespeople who stood behind the small counter with hearts in their eyes. Normally, they would greet the customers, but this represented Alpha, and they waited for permission to speak. "Issy, Bryn." He gestured toward Talia. "Talia needs to go to Human's Town for a doctor's appointment. Can you get her something appropriate?" The two young women smiled widely. "Leave it to us, Alpha," they spoke in unison. Issy and Bryn circled Talia once with thoughtful expressions and then started picking garments. Bryn's left hand held several hangers, and with her right hand she grabbed Talia's arm. "Come to the back. That's where dressing rooms are. You need to try these." Issy gestured toward the chairs that stood on the side. "Take a seat, Alpha. This might take a while." Damon gave a stiff nod and paused. "Find her something for the fair as well. At least a few outfits. Shoes, too." "Yes, Alpha." Issy grabbed several more things and walked to the back of the store with her hands full. Damon sat on the chair and looked in the direction of the dressing rooms. Damon decided to sit this one out and to let two saleswomen handle this. As long as Talia got several sets that fit her well, he would consider this outing as a success, and he would take Talia for a more personal shopping experience later, maybe in the Human Town. Talia observed a big dressing room that mirrors surrounded. She estimated that at least 6 people could come here and change clothes at the same time, and there would still exist extra space. The store looked much smaller from the outside. Issy and Bryn felt enthusiastic. They didn't ask Talia about her circumstances. It didn't seem uncommon for them to accept refugees, and Talia's fading bruises told them that she didn't have an easy time. Other than their Alpha personally bringing Talia shopping, nothing seemed too strange. Issy and Bryn felt itchy to ask Talia questions, but they feared that it might reach Damon's ears, and they might get punished. They knew that it didn't seem appropriate to talk about those, but that didn't mean that they would not gossip later after Alpha Damon left.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.